Did the Zionists manufacture Ceuta's migrant crisis? There has been an uproar over the flood of about 60,000 migrants into Ceuta, a territory administered by Spain, but sitting, so to speak, in Moroccan land. Spanish authorities have since said the crisis is back under control, with most of the more than 50,000 arrivals having chosen to voluntarily return to Morocco. Nevertheless, the images of thousands crossing the border have already circulated and the damage is done. Right-wing leaders, Donald Trump among them, have used the footage across the West to incite anti-immigration sentiment. It will be kept in the archive of disinformation regardless. It may yet cost the Spanish incumbent his popularity. What is behind this sudden inflow? Ceuta and Melilla are two Spanish enclaves still sitting on African soil. African migrants have long seen them as a window into Europe, gathering around the enclaves for months just to gain access. But what happened this time was different from the usual pattern. This time, most of the migrants are Moroccan. Many have likened it to 2021, when Rabat loosened border controls and let 10,000 people cross into Ceuta in 2 days, in retaliation for a diplomatic standoff after Madrid treated a Western Sahara independence leader for COVID-19. This time, the trigger is said to be Sanchez's recent visit to Algeria. However, as Necmettin Erbakan once said of the Zionists, "We are not saying that they are under every rock. However, they do not leave any rock unturned." It has also been observed, including by some Spanish officials, that the Zionists have something to do with this crisis too. What do Zionists have to do with it? Rewind a few months. The Spanish government has earned a reputation for standing in Israel's way. It opposed Israel at the height of the Gaza genocide, and in February this year it stayed out of the war on Iran despite being a NATO member. American Zionist-in-chief Donald Trump had called for expelling Spain from NATO. Netanyahu, too, posted a video in April in which he warned, referring to Spain, "Israel will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us." There were several ways to punish the Sanchez administration, and raising the question of Ceuta and Melilla was one of them. In April this year, a U.S. House Appropriations Committee document, for the first time, described Ceuta and Melilla as Spanish-administered cities located in Moroccan territory. The document, attached to the 2027 Homeland Security and State Department budget bill, noted Morocco's long-standing claim and expressed support for U.S. efforts to encourage diplomatic talks between Morocco and Spain over the enclave's future status, all while reaffirming strong ties and funding for Rabat. That same month, pro-Israel Moroccan analyst Amine Ayoub, writing on the Israeli platform Ynet, argued that Sanchez's confrontational stance toward the Trump administration had opened a rare strategic vulnerability for Spain over Ceuta and Melilla, one that Morocco's increasingly close partner, Israel, is uniquely placed to exploit. Ayoub was only stating what was already known. Even Netanyahu's own son, Yair, had posted a map of Ceuta and Melilla on X back in 2019, declaring, "Dear Arabs and Muslims, want to free occupied Arab Islamic lands? Here's a good start." Last week, after the wave of migrants arrived, several Israeli voices took to X to mock Spain. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon, was chief among them. Maybe before it continues lecturing us, it's time it explained to the world why it still maintains colonial enclaves in Africa. Zionists say Morocco played its part. Morocco's close ties with Israel are no secret. It has a king who has always done American and Zionist bidding. He used a royal order to join the Abraham Accords in 2020. Just days before the border incident, Trump posted on Truth Social that a highway linking Morocco to Mauritania had been named after him. There have also been strong claims of Moroccan complicity in this affair. Videos surfaced of security officers looking away and of trucks dropping people at the border. Meanwhile, the outrage was fueled by the circulation of a misleading interpretation of a Spanish Supreme Court ruling, taken to mean that Spain can no longer deport anyone arriving by sea. It does not. It only says migrants swimming towards Ceuta should follow the ordinary immigration procedure instead of being summarily handed back to Morocco. Ceuta and Melilla. It would be a mistake to conflate two separate issues here. Spanish occupation of territory on African soil is definitely anomalous, and it is a continuation of imperialism. As an episode of the Reconquista that brought the killing of Muslims and the Inquisition in its wake, Melilla was conquered by the Spanish in 1497 and Ceuta by the Portuguese in 1415, before passing to Spain in 1640, when Portugal regained its independence from the Spanish crown. European Christians secured the maritime routes and the Mediterranean coasts through this occupation. Morocco has never recognized Spain's claim to the territories as legitimate and has consistently sought their return. Critics will note that the enclaves predate the Sharifian dynasty by centuries, but a dynasty is a passing custodian of sovereignty, not its source. The claim rests on a people who have remained, not a ruling house that came and went. This is the land of Muslims and of the African continent, whatever administrative fiction has governed it since. Unfortunately, however, Muslims keep repeating the mistake of allowing Zionists to co-opt our legitimate grievances for their own ends. We seek to unseat our dictators with American money and to press our causes with Israeli spyware, forgetting that these actors have no stake in our grievances beyond what use we serve them. We are instruments in someone else's calculation, not partners in it. Morocco's claim to Ceuta and Melilla may well be just. Pursuing it in partnership with Israel and expecting that partnership to yield anything but further leverage over Rabat is indeed self-deception.